Sorry about that. I have forgotten that I had that second tab open. Yep. Sorry, last time that I tried streaming a Nintendo Direct, I guess I hit the go live button, but it wasn't actually something I could select, so I never went live, and I never remembered to record either, so that was fun. Studio mode, I need to check. No, wrong one. Yes, correct one. No, I didn't click you, I clicked that. Boom. Come on, be here. There we go. Oh, shoot. Bop, bop, bop. There's the video. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Entirely perfect. I want direct. Oh gosh, right. I meant to close that. That's the difference. Yeah, I can just see everyone. Upsetty spaghetti. Okay, is there anything else we're over with? And we're going to transition. Yay! Hello. 'Tis I, a Muffin. We've got the Nintendo Direct set up here. Do I have others? I want to make sure. Yeah, it's only those 2. 3. But they're not up. Oh! Let's see what I can do here. I would love if you start working again. Okay. You know what? I think... Oh, that's... I can't tell if that's too big or too small. Whatever. That's good. I'm going to make a quick bingo board as I just sort of briefly go, yes, last time I tried streaming this, it apparently went horribly wrong in ways I didn't imagine it would. Yeah, I don't have a stream from that Nintendo Direct, and I don't have recording either. Yay! That's the perfect one to start with, too. Yeah, let's see. More highlights. Well, I guess what I can mention, because it will also come up today, is, unlike some other streamers who it's like, okay, we're stuck on live, and if I miss something, I'll just go back and watch that part later. I am the type of person who watches through, and if I see something that makes me go, huh, I want to pause, I pause. Alrighty, let's see here. I should tell people that I'm live. Okay, mute this tab so I won't get echo again. Yes, you can see my own thing. Wrong one. Nintendo Direct. And why is there no self-promo here? It really should be. Yay! Okay. Right. Next bingo board. Well, okay, yes. I don't like to watch it fully live. I will pause and then I will switch to 2 times speed to catch up at times. Whatever. This is MS Paint. Why am I expecting anything better than this? All right. So yeah, because of my pausing, I noticed pretty quickly that we had the extra enemy characters. I stuck with the US stream the entire time, even with the glitches. I tabbed out when they had the turfs game. We'll call it that. What was it? I'm going to emphasize adventure. Because we know for sure that there's right. Then my other highlight was, unlike some streamers where they're like, huh, what is that guy? And then walks up and then doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, they're like, wait, Deltarune? Or some people who didn't know until it said Deltarune. I saw Toby's little guy and I went, Toby. Okay. Yes. Now. Oh, person in chat. Oh my gosh. I forgot that last time when I was having issues, I got rid of that. Scene collect? No. View? No. Oh no, I don't know how to turn that window back on. No. Oh no, stream setup. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't easily see you. That has to be Jack, because saying swaps. Okay. Right. So, bingo board. Super Mario Land mention. Love Super Mario Land. Free space is just Mario Kart World. I don't expect it to happen, so I'm putting it in the second square. Price drop. What else do we have? I've got 5 minutes. Yikes. Rainbow Road in Square 3, because we haven't exactly seen Rainbow Road, not even with the 26 map, but whatever. Or 26, 29. More tracks later. Because, you know, eventually they'll do DLC or whatever. In fact, I'm a little worried that they'll say it right off the bat, because if I don't want it to still be that they're doing, yes. Oh wait, let me make this a little closer. Yes, here's the game. But you'll have to buy the full game later. Because like, ugh. Don't like that that's the business model that we've gotten to. It made more sense during the pandemic. It doesn't make any much sense now. Let's see. Costumes. More than speed, because so far in various people trying out the game, all it's really been has been a speed boost, because I wish they made it like at least one costume for all characters, but the various enemy characters it seems like they had. I'm skipping the 6th box to go straight to 7 to say more racers shown. Because I'm hoping at this point we haven't seen every potential racer. No, again, or no, I guess I can put it there. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to put down... No, it really should be closer to center. You gotta strategically place your bingo board things. The parts in the diagonals are the most important ones, because that gets you diagonals and your horizontal and verticals. But, yeah, whichever. More racers shown. Free roam quests stuff, because enough people have seen where it's like, hey, is that where you could find a character to unlock that? Oh, there's those or question blocks or whatever. Oh gosh, I've wasted most of my time. Yikes. Yeah, sorry, I don't think I'm finishing this bingo board. Whatever, down here. Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy. Let me put next to Daisy. Worth $80. I'm hoping they show something to make it actually worth the price. Because it not from what we've seen, it's that's something else I can. Yep, that's the alarm. They should start any second now. Secrets. Not in demo. That one I'm not as confident in, because some people were able to find things where it's like, oh, no one's been able to see that, so this must not be shown in the demo build. And then we ended up being shown, it's like, no, yeah, sorry. Why?
Welcome to the...
Oh gosh. What? Why were you not live? Hello. Already doing amazing. Yep, that... I have not even half a bingo board filled up, but that's all I got. There we go. I hope my balance is okay. Koopa, Penguin. Portal. I'm going to go back through at the end again anyway. Hi, Drybones.
Drivers, start your Engine. Welcome to the Mario Kart World game. Available exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system.
Right.
What kind of races await you?
Banamba.
In Mario Kart World, you'll aim for first place in each Grand Prix.
Hi, Pianta.
But why stop there?
Oh,
Across
I've got to
cities,
look at those icons on the map later.
A desert?
Oh, wow.
And even the ocean.
Hi, Daisy!
You can drive virtually everywhere in this fully interconnected world.
Maybe that was... I don't know.
Races
People
are
need
held on
rainbow.
courses scattered throughout various regions that span this world. And you can freely drive between them.
Nah.
There's a lot in store, and we're only at the starting line.
Can you be eaten by...
Let's introduce
What
some
happens
of the
if you do
courses
get
that are
eaten
waiting
by
for you.
that dino?
Here we go!
Whee. Courses. We know of 29
Courses
for sure.
are found throughout the world, inspired by their surrounding region. Let's
That's
take
a
a
pretty
look
one.
at some of the new
Hi,
courses to
Daisy!
explore.
I'm so glad we finally get a castle
Ride the
for her.
ridges and roads on Mario
Okay, Mario
Brothers
Bros. Circuit. That's our basic one.
And cruise the curves around
It's
the
nice
canyon.
that it's
You can't
Mario
miss
Bros.
it.
Circuit and not just Mario Circuit. We've had too
See
many
the
of those.
sights and structures of
Crown City. Okay.
You can even soar in style down Main Street.
Uh-huh. We
Drift along the rapid
Salty
waterways of
Speedway, got
Speedway.
it. I'm still
And
kind of
because
looking in the
splash
background for
around the
any
city's
characters we haven't spied, though again, it's going pretty rapidly.
Stay cool in the snowy
Starview
trails
Peak.
of Starview Peak.
I'm glad that we have a sort of
Just don't
Rosalina
slip
one.
off while soaking up
That's
the
a
scenery.
nice. Oh no!
Have a spirit
Boo Cinema.
showing at the ghostly movie theater.
Okay,
Boo
I
Cinema.
thought this might be inspired
It's a whole
more
new
aligned to
kind of
like
drive-in
yeah,
theater.
Princess Peach Showtime was.
And in addition to lots of new courses,
Okay, you only showed 5.
there's Toad's
Hi,
Factory.
Toad's Factory! I'm sure so many people
Beach.
are happy. Peach Beach. Okay. Wario Shipyard.
and
Okay.
more.
And more.
Nostalgia
We're at
courses
8
from
right now.
past titles are also here, but now
And that they've
they're
directly
reimagined
listed.
and spread throughout the world.
Yeah.
Where races can happen during the day or at night. Race as familiar characters like Mario,
Hi, Mario. Luigi.
Peach,
Peach.
Bowser,
Bowser.
and Yoshi.
Hi, Yoshi. Yoshi.
Plus,
You don't
new
even
drivers
mention
like
my
Goomba.
Daisy. Hi, Goomba.
Spike,
Hi, Spike.
and that's right, Cow.
Cow. Okay, it's just Cow. It's
Even
not Moo Moo
more
Cow.
new racers are waiting and ready to roll. Select your character.
Still haven't shown it. Hi,
Choose your
Daisy.
vehicle. Then
They
you're
love
off to the
Daisy.
races.
They love Daisy in this house. Oh.
Characters and vehicles each have different stats, so make sure
Yeah,
to find the
Daisy
combo
has been
that
in the
best
most
suits
Mario
you.
Kart games, even above Waluigi.
There are 2 main styles of race revving up in this world:
Grand Prix Knockout Tour.
and Knockout Tour. In both modes, up to 24
there's
drivers can
others.
participate, the most in series history. Your rivals aren't the only hazards you'll need to avoid
I
on the
don't
road.
like that
Look
when they
out for
showed off
cars that
character
shoot
selection,
bullet
they
bills,
still showed
attacks from Hammer
that
Brothers,
the
and other obstacles along
what's
the
the
way.
face? I am going
Try
to
to steer clear.
turn it down just a touch for you guys.
And now, get ready for Grand Prix with Mushroom Cup,
Yep.
Flower Cup,
Hi, Shy Guy Bazaar.
Star Cup, and more. Grand Prix races
Yep.
are held all around the game's world. You'll race
1, 2, 3,
through
4.
different courses
We
in each
have
cup
noticed
and
that
aim
in
for the
certain
top
cups,
spot.
while there's overlap, it has shown that it's like,
In
oh,
Mushroom
but
Cup,
it's
you'll start
nighttime
off
in this
racing around
version.
Mario Brothers Circuit,
Sort of like time has passed throughout the
while the
race.
second race will take you from Mario Brothers Circuit to Crown City.
Yep. Yeah,
For
Crown
the
City's the
first
one we saw
time,
was a
You'll
duplicate.
need to drive yourself to the next course in Grand Prix.
I
So
am
don't sleep at the
hoping
wheel.
that they're going to have an option where you don't need to do that.
And if you conquer all Grand Prix cups,
'Cause some people-
rumor
I-
has it that a certain colorful course will appear.
Rainbow Road. Rainbow Road's an unlock? Interesting.
Next up is a new mode.
But does that mean they're
Knockout
just at
Tour.
30 tracks?
From
Because
Golden Rally to Ice
Mario
Rally
Kart
and
8
more.
had
These
a
extended
default
races take
of
you from
32.
one end of the world to the other.
Yeah.
Get ready for a sprint.
Yeah.
But
I don't like that we haven't
got
seen
to
a
place
single
if you
new
wanna stay in the
character.
race.
Right, and I was talking about how I didn't like the
Speed
character
towards checkpoints
select
throughout the world.
was
If
still
you don't make
showing
the
the
cut,
costumes
you're out of the
as
running.
separate characters. People have said, oh gosh, that's
Buckle
gotta
up.
get
The
big.
competition gets
They're hoping
more
that maybe
intense
if you
as
unlock
close
enough,
in on the
it puts them
checkpoints.
into categories where, oh,
You've got
I
to
select
drive
Daisy,
to
now here's all
survive the
Daisy's
knockout
outfits.
tour. So keep your eyes on the
but-
prize and aim for first place.
If not, it's gonna be a mess, especially because people have noticed various orders, so it's probably unlock order. What, do I need to completely avoid
Items can
seeing it's
drastically
like,
change the outcome of a race.
oh, various, I don't know.
Here are some
And
new
I think
items
Daisy's
that'll
one of the
help you
ones
out.
that you don't get from base.
Coin shell. When
Hi,
you
coin
throw
shell.
a coin shell, coins will appear. Now's your chance to grab them. Just
Okay,
don't
that
let your
goes
rivals
pretty
cash in first.
That goes pretty
Ice
far.
flower. With the ice flower, you can freeze out rivals. and
Okay.
Send them spinning. Hammer.
Okay,
Aim
just
the hammer in an arc.
spins it.
And nailed it. Hammers
Okay.
also stay on the course for a short time and can be used to block off rivals.
Fair enough.
Mega mushroom. With the mega mushroom, go big.
You can
so
crush
your rivals will go
your opponent.
home.
Yep, that one's back from previous
Feather.
game. Hi,
Use the
Feather.
feather to jump up and avoid attacks.
Interesting that they are having this in
Maybe even
the.
discover some unexpected routes.
That's true. Being able to use the feather to.
Comic.
y-
With Comic's magic, your rivals will transform. What other mysterious effects will happen?
Right,
You'll have
it seems to be that not only does it transform
The lower
people
your
into
placement,
enemies,
the more
the type of
likely you
enemy
are
they
to
get
find items
changed
that'll turn the
into
tables.
shows up
So
on
when
the
you
level
get
more
items,
frequently as an
go for it.
obstacle. Okay. Character
And
select.
If you're new to the Mario
Again,
Kart
see,
series,
Pauline is
there are
in
added support
Daisy's place
features to help you along the way.
they've shown.
These
Yep.
include smart steering. which
Smart
helps you
steering.
Stay on the course.
But it's bad if you want to do alternate paths.
Tilt controls, where you can hold a Joy-Con 2 controller horizontally and use motion
Fair.
controls to steer. And if you
Yeah,
have
of
the
course,
Joy-Con 2
accessories.
wheel, you can feel like you're really driving.
I wonder how you get it in there. Looks like it could be a slight hassle. Rosalina
Ooh,
bus
How about a
tours.
quick break? A snack sounds good right about now.
Yep, we're
Hey,
gonna
look,
see
it's a
Yoshi's.
drive-through. Here at Yoshi's, you can grab an order to go.
Yep.
Dash
And we've,
food.
yeah, we've seen that there's
a
a couple
bite,
of
and
various
You can
food
unlock
types.
outfits inspired by your
and
meal.
it tends to be, yeah. Outfits inspired by the
Eat some
meal.
sushi and-
Got it.
Whoa, nice threads.
There are a couple of types of sushi, as we could see there.
Once unlocked, these outfits can be selected from the character selection screen.
There.
Who
And
knows what dishes
it has been
or outfits
noticed
you'll
that
find. Take a
each
pit
level
stop and check
has
out
been
these
shown that
drive-thrus all
there's
around the
various
world.
outfits that can be unlocked specifically from there. I'm
That was a
guessing
nice
it's like,
detour.
oh, if
Now
you
let's get
unlock them in
back to
this
the
area,
action.
it's all going to be this style.
Let's
Oh, new
introduce
tricks.
some new
Is this
tricks
about the
that'll
wall
help you
riding
ace
and
each race.
side grinding,
Charge
whichever
jump.
thing?
You can now use
Charge
a charge
jump.
jump by holding the drift button while driving straight ahead.
Drift?
Charge
I do like
and
what the
release
wheels
to
are doing.
jump.
That's kind of cool.
Use
So
this
instead
to
of
leap over
curving-
obstacles.
Hi, Daisy!
Grind along power lines
Power
and
lines, too.
dodge attacks from your rivals.
That's okay.
And
Interesting
if you
that
jump
she
toward a
did
wall,
have some
you can wall
control.
ride for a short period of time. Chain some tricks together, and you may even reach places like
Wait.
so
Huh?
close, almost there.
I do
Whenever this
kind of
happens,
like.
Be kind and
Ha!
rewind. This
What?
will return your vehicle to its original position.
That's only.
Nice,
That's gotta be
made it.
just single player. There's no
This
way they
can come
have that
handy
in
when mapping out how
multiplayer.
to best approach a course.
Because I'm guessing.
Keep in mind, though, your rivals will still move normally when you rewind.
Oh.
So don't lose your lead.
Okay. Okay, then maybe theoretically. I don't know.
Want to take a spin in even more races?
We got time
In
trials.
Time trials, it's you
That's a
against the
loop.
clock.
It's a loop.
Here you
Thank
can race
you.
without any other competitors.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm hoping that that does mean that we are going to have like our regular 3-lap races, and then instead of driving to the next one, okay. Versus race. Course selection is open.
You can use the classic rule set of running 3 laps within the same course.
Thank you. Thank you. But please tell me you can also kind of do that in basic. You don't always have to go with the travel between. Interesting. Grand Prix or knockout tour.
24 drivers.
That's probably how you do Rainbow Road.
3 or even 4 teams.
4? Oh gosh.
Group up and get ready to put the pedal to the metal.
Saw a helicopter flying above.
Next up, battle mode.
Battle mode. Stand. Okay, balloon battle.
Use items to burst your rivals' balloons. Pop them all.
That's a nice map.
And no. Coin runners, where you can
coin
go
runners.
For the gold
okay.
By collecting the most coins. Race
and
or battle, enjoy whatever.
That's all you guys have to start. Oy. Okay, into free roam. Let's see.
When you're not racing, you can enjoy free roam and go wherever your heart takes you.
Right.
No roads? Nope.
It is interesting, but like
the rivers.
As it currently stands, Tears of the Kingdom had a lot more going for it, and it was only $70. So you really need to sell me on this $80.
You can go wherever you like.
Because I get it that a lot of the Switch 2 games. Oh, P-Switch. Collect loot coins on the slackline course.
Hit hundreds of P-switches you find across the world to start missions.
Interesting.
By completing them, you can hone your driving ability outside of races.
That is nice that it's sort of a mission mode. Collectibles. Yeah, we kind of already knew this from bits and pieces.
And more.
Panels and also characters that you can find. Do kind of like how the map camera. Okay, tilt. That's nice. I'm not sure if we saw that.
Strike a pose. Look at the
camera. Feel like we probably did, but
choose a frame to process. And nice. That one's a winner.
Okay. Let's see. What was I? Fun with everyone. Come on, you still gotta sell me on this.
Up to 4
players on one system. Makes sense.
The game also supports
oh, that's kind of cute. He saw the motorcycle of himself.
On each system can race together this way.
Okay. That's the 8 wireless play. Kind of makes sense.
24 players from around the world.
Yep, online
can join
play.
A race or battle in online play.
Okay. Anyone new here? I couldn't catch the second. I looked at the second row first.
But this is where you'll wait while your friends
this is the waiting room. We kind of knew about that already again.
Looks like someone's arrived.
Yeah, because part of it is that because of the test play events, we kind of knew. So, oh, that's
to their location.
Interesting. But yeah, Switch 2 games, obviously, because of the quality, they're bumping them up to 70, but that was expected. The fact that this is 80 means that's gotta be on level with Tears of the Kingdom for them to excuse the price, almost.
Along the way, if that's more your speed.
Yeah. Need more fun with game chat. Ooh, wow.
Game chat, enjoy an expanded experience by talking online with friends.
Speaking of
use the built-in microphone to voice chat while driving together.
Let's go. Yeah, it is kind of nice that it is going to make getting thumbnails easier.
Are you kidding me? Or take a back seat and watch each other's game screens.
Oh no.
If you have a Nintendo Switch 2 camera, You can enjoy seeing your friends' reactions while playing together.
Those are just pictures.
Who's close
Okay,
by?
now that's a slight animation.
Wait, who just passed me? You'll be
Oh,
able to tell
you can
in
know.
an instant.
Wow.
Aim a shell and bullseye.
Yeah, the thing is, you can only get up to
And
4
when
people on
playing together
camera at
in
a
person
time.
on the same system,
Yeah, that's
a
interesting.
single camera can detect
I'm
up to
guessing
4
you
people's
can't do
faces.
online. Never mind.
Enjoy the view and
I
get
guess
ready to
that's-
face off with your friends.
Well, it caught me before I could. Okay, what's this? Oh, is this the knockout? Or not? I don't know. Don't tell me that's all you're showing. Come on, what else do you have?
A transcontinental race around the world is just around the corner in Mario Kart World. Available exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2. A hardware bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World.
Oh, it's not even a
also be
physical.
available.
Boo. Oh, through fall 2025. Ugh. Excuse me? That's no way that's it. What the fuck? I think the only thing we didn't know was the bits with the camera. Where it's like, ah, yes, it'll show you which player, though we kind of vaguely knew from the chat, the trailer showing off the voice chat. It was nice to see that it's like, oh yes, it detects up to 4 faces with the same camera, since it did say up to 4 people on the same system, which, okay. But that's it? We already knew everything else. Or could guess everything else. They didn't even show off, like, oh, cart customization is no longer here. The special... Shush. The special vehicles that, I'm just going back. The special vehicles, like the big trucks that you can find in free roam, which, again, someone did manage to find some of those in the lobby time during the free play events. And the only reason no one had found it in, like, the main races is because they were forced to have smart steering on, so they couldn't go exploring. Which, boo. Again, we kind of figured out the Connect, and Nintendo Treehouse also mentioned that, where it's like, ah yes, it makes you an enemy, usually based on the level you're playing in, and more of those enemies will also spawn around. So, it was like, I don't think they showed off a single new character. The best... Oh. Because, like, we can see the Piantas here. I don't know if it's because it's this sort of, like, beach setting, but I was hoping maybe the background characters would give us a hint on who else is playable. That's probably Cooper Beach anyway. Oh, vey. Yeah. Oh, vey. Okay. I don't like that they still have made it that, like, again, they showed off that for time trials and certain modes, you're able to just do 3-lap versions of single races, but I'm really hoping they also have it enabled that when you do the basic cups, that you don't have to drive between, because I know that just myself when there are breaks between the courses. Still, by the end of the 4-track cup, at the end I'll be sort of like, oh, my hands have cramped a bit. But if you have to, like, drive the entire time, like, okay, reasonably I know that you could pause it, but at the same time, that's kind of like, not as fun. I don't know, man. What else was there? I remember, that's right, when we got to about here, it was making me think about how cool we have sort of a Rosalina level. I mean, technically we had a Rosalina level in the past, but it was kind of like, yes, Rosalina is named for this track. That's about it. It was mainly ice themed, which I don't know why specifically ice. Her thing's very spacey, and yet they keep giving her ice theming. I don't know. Is there something I missed in Galaxy 2 that really was? I don't know, because I didn't think there was much sort of ice theme in the original. That was the one I played most, though. I didn't own a Wii. I only got to play it when I was visiting a friend. Yeah, seeing the Rosalina one, and then, of course, them also mentioning Toad's Factory. There's a YouTuber who I've watched, I think it's Charlie's Cafe or something like that. Off the top of my head, I'm blanking on it. But they decided, it's like, I'm upset that Toad's Factory, or no, I don't remember what they started with, but they started being like, I'm going to revamp old Mario Kart courses. He might have started with Coconut Mall, because it's like, oh, they've started announcing DLC courses or whatever, and they haven't done Coconut Mall. Eventually they did, but, you know, but also did Coconut Mall, or, no, not also did Coconut Mall, also did Toad's Factory, because he really liked Toad's Factory, and was upset that it didn't get a refresh in Deluxe. But did a couple of others, and the first one they did that was not a revamp of a pre-existing Mario Kart course was based on Galaxy, but instead of being Rosalina's observatory, or I guess Starview Peak in this case, it instead was based more upon that opening level in Galaxy where you're walking towards the castle. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. I woke up stupid early. I did not need to wake up as early as I did. Oh well. But it ended up making it based on that starting area where Mario's walking up to the castle and then Bowser attacks, but made it into a thing where it's like, oh, you drive the path up to the castle before, actually, instead of going to the castle, you take a turn up the hillside, which you can kind of see in the original, but ended up turning it into a forest. Made a reference to the one story of that most people think is like, oh, that must be Rosalina's story. So, no complete confirmation. But reference to that. And then you keep going, and then there's 2 paths. You can either go into a building, which gives you a ramp that leads into sort of a glider section-ish. I forget exactly. And then the other one takes you underground into a cave full of, like, crystals and starbits or whatever. And then you keep lapping around. But yeah. Either way, interesting thing. Okay, I was frozen at Starview Peak for too long. Let's sort of fast forward. I do think this is interesting, these bits. I love how it's Peach Beach, and then it's like, oh no, the sign says Peach Resort, so to say dolphin. Wait. Dolphin. Okay, wait. I do wanna... Okay, so probably like, but what if you got a feather and just jumped over this barrier? Could you? How big of a shortcut would that be? Would it... That's the other thing, is that these tracks are so wild and all over the place, and like multiple people seen. It's like, oh, there's like multiple paths where it converges, but they came from wildly different directions. Theoretically, yes, that's being like, oh, well, this path comes from that previous track, this path comes from this other previous track, and that third path comes from a third previous track. Because we've seen overlap. But I know in previous games there's sort of been like an unknown checkpoint system where as you go through the race you have to hit all these checkpoints, and hitting all the checkpoints is what counts a lap. And I know we're having a lot of straightaways, like a lot of straightaways. A lot of people are worried about that. Like, so far, reasonably, yes. We had people who were testing the levels definitely said, oh, well, I didn't really notice the straightaways when playing. Well, part of that is that it's a new thing. Yes, you're going to be focused on finding what's new. I'm sure the straightaways between levels are going to become... like, with normal races where you're going through these laps, because it's sort of this circular thing, you're able to find shortcuts and, like, notice a shortcut your first lap around and potentially be able to use it your second time around. When it's constantly straightaways, or you're only going through one... Like, some people notice that the quote-unquote laps, part of them were part of the straightaways, and so then you technically... It's like, oh, the big straightaway connecting from one course to the other, that itself was 2 laps worth, and so the third lap is just one time around the course. And it's like, really? Great. Amazing. But, like, if that's the case, people are going to quickly become more of the straightaways, especially since we're not seeing anything special. You know what? I should go over to my channel and click where I'm live so I can kind of see chat that way. I forgot that, so... Controllers such as... No, Rosalina was in Galaxy 2. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the place where the book comes from. Oh no, we're getting a charge jump. Right, we didn't know the charge jump. You're so right with that. We were not aware of the charge jump. Holy vey. Yeah. And again, we sort of knew a map had come out that showed all the courses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Rainbow Road is 30. Again, that's still less than Mario Kart 8 debuted with. Not even Deluxe. Mario Kart 8. And again, yes, oh, there's free roam and the straightaways. Those all together can count as whatever. But, anyway. There was something else I was thinking of, and now I've forgotten it. They didn't go, again, their initial trailer showed, hey, Birdo drives into this truck, now she's controlling a truck. And they're not really mentioning that. Like, they didn't mention it here, which people were hoping for. And that was before someone managed to actually find them in the main game, and people notice it's like, oh yes, they actually do exist in the main game, but because they had smart steering on, they could not get to the various vehicles because they're just off-road enough. And I also feel like that could be an issue because often the people you might want to have that because the vehicles seem to mostly be in the straightaways from what we've gleaned. And it feels like the people who are most likely to get behind are the ones who are more likely to want smart steering on. And so if they're unable to access the big boost, which could help them even things up because they need smart steering on, that could turn into a issue. What else is there? I don't know, man. This ain't selling me on anything. I'm sorry, but oy vey. We didn't see a single character that we hadn't seen in the test plays or the treehouse events. They didn't show off the vehicles, they didn't show off that you can potentially find characters in free roam, which we've theorized from clips. People have been theorizing about it, but they haven't shown it off. They just showed off the collectibles. Yay! We already thought that, oh yes, the costume you get corresponds to the area you're in because, and from there, it's like, oh, the food you get in this area corresponds to the area, and the costume you get corresponds to the area. It makes sense that it's like, oh, it's based on the food. So theoretically, if you held on to a food piece from one track to the next, you'd probably still get the outfit that corresponds to the previous track, because that's when you got the food. Yeah, as far as we know, for some characters, it's just gonna be a speed boost. Because they don't get outfits, like, mainly the enemy characters, so Goomba and Dolphin and Cheep and etc. etc. Right. Yeah, Goomba, cow. Again, this is something that people are a touch worried about. Is it's like, okay, you have the various characters, and then all the costumes are counted as extra slots. And it's currently based entirely on the order you unlock them. So say you just find costume, and then finally you find a character and it's like, oh yeah, I really want to play this character. Well, now it's hidden in the giant wave of costumes. I find it interesting that Yoshi has this special color in the touring outfit. Okay, they don't actually select the Yoshi, so can't be sure, but I'm hoping it's not that, oh, when you select this Yoshi, you have to be that color. But again, didn't see. I don't know if someone has shown in like a treehouse, in the treehouse events or in the test play events, if anyone's picked a costume Yoshi. We already knew again from the test plays in Treehouse that there's no cart customization anymore. You just pick a cart. You can look at its stats through pressing Y for details, but you're not jumbling between, okay, here's the base of the thing, here's its wheels, and here's its glider. No, it's all just built into the one. I realize that they want to show off. It's like, oh, we'll show off certain stuff with Mario. But, like, you chose Daisy. Why did you need a second clip where you didn't choose Daisy? Okay, I guess they were also showing, like... Wait, I need to check. Okay, so I need to hear, because I was talking over some stuff.
Off to the races. Characters and vehicles each have different stats, so make sure to find the combo.
Okay. I don't know if that's something that they really had in previous games, but I do like that it's showing you, oh hey, Mario's stats in this cart is this. Well, Bowser changes it up. And I wish they would have gone in a little more depth here, because I know that often the characters had like different weight levels. And so like your basic characters for the most part were medium characters. Your I think Toadette and the babies were all small characters, and Bowser and other definitely look large characters. And I think Rosalina, they made Rosalina a heavy character just so you could have at least one female heavy character. But since they didn't elaborate on this, I have to wonder if it's stat changes per character or stat changes per heavy value, or whatever, if maybe there's more classifications. Because for all we know, it's like, oh yes, that was the stat spread, not specifically for Mario, but for medium characters. And then this is the stat spread for heavy characters. I'm hoping there will also be like cart unlocks, because so far we've only seen character unlocks. Okay. Yeah, really no one new that we're seeing that hasn't already been spotted here, there, everywhere. Which, that's another thing they said, oh yes, you get the outfits through the, food stuff. We also found out that the Kamek ability, when that turns everyone into enemies, that's also a way to unlock the enemies for you to play as. Like, it's just frustrating that we've had the Treehouse events and the free play events, and they finally get around to the Direct. And they're like, hi, here's 50 things you already know about, and like 2 you didn't know. That's the other thing I wanted to say, is that, again, we kind of know, it's like, hey, Crown City is shown in daytime here, but then when we go over to, oh, was it Fireflower? No. Shell Cup, maybe? Yeah, Shell Cup. Here's Crown City again, but it's nighttime. Which, actually... Now I do actually want to see if, like, there's... Okay, that one's sort of sunset, that one's night. That one's night. Where that one's sunset. Okay, that goes into night, but also Starview Peak, so who knows. This is also frustrating. It's like, in the initial Direct where they were showing this darn thing off, they said, ah yes, the atmosphere can change between night and day, and if it's rainy. And then they don't go into it here if, like, there's any differences. If it's just, oh, aesthetic change, or whatever. It's like, dude... Oh... I don't know, man. They could have done so much to build the confidence, and they gave us next to nothing. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, Oh, that cow comment. Let me look at my bingo board. They did not even decide to mention Super Mario Land. Like, I I'm probably just going to, for a good while, watch people play this game and be like, oh, here's 100 secrets we found when playing this game, to learn about it, because I'm not jumping out of my seat to get... It was unlikely, and they didn't say, so yeah, no price drop. Again, they said nothing about the price of the game in this trailer. Not confident with that. They did mention Rainbow Road. That's the closest they had to more tracks later. I wish they would have said anything about, like, even more tracks that you could unlock. Maybe you can unlock multiple Rainbow Roads. Who's to say? Said next to nothing about the costumes. They showed no secrets that weren't available in the demo, really. 0 new races shown. They did show off the sort of quest stuff in free roam. They did not do anything to show me it was worth $80. They did have Daisy. Congrats! I managed to nearly get a bingo. If I had fully filled out my sheet, maybe I did, but I got 4 in a row. Rainbow Road, free roam quest stuff, free space, and Daisy. Oy. Like, the only thing that has made me really happy at all has been, hi, in Shy Guy Bazaar, not the Grand Prix, but when they had the Knockout Tour, where it goes across, they had, like, extra icons for some of the tracks, like, oh, show it again. We have, like, oh, here's the guys that go down. You have these spring guys here. You have moles here. You've got wigglers here. I'm not sure with this guy, but all 3 of these guys that they're showing off... By the way, they aren't showing off every level. Like, they're not showing off this one or this one, but the preview images. But it shows an enemy, and these 3 enemies are all ones that you can play as. That... Okay, not so much here. That's just Yoshi. I'm sorry. Tell me I can play as this little cone guy. If I can play as this little cone guy, maybe it's worth $80. I hope he comes in different colors, too, if you can play as him, because I remember seeing sort of the spirally cones, but they were blue in a different course. Is it specifically pointing to the straightaway? Yikes. Fun. Maybe these are supposed to be the checkpoints, but there were more checkpoints than that. Oy. But it should be buffalo, 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 buffalo. I forget how the sentence goes, but you can make a sentence that's just saying buffalo a bunch. Wait a second. Okay, no, it was here. Was it one of the further ones along? Maybe. Okay. Oh, they didn't show. But in some of the test footage, when Shy Guy Bazaar was shown off, probably over here-ish, it showed some of the enemies from Super Mario Land. Not to mention, we see Daisy's castle. We finally get to see Daisy's castle in the background. Does this mean that instead that the Shy Guys are meant to be her toads? Not entirely sure how I feel about that, but whatever. Now I'm just thinking of the comic someone made where it's like, yes, here's Daisy and Prince Florian, and it's like, yeah, we're siblings. Can't you see the relation? We're practically twins. Or it's like, oh yeah, we're cousins. You're cousins? It's like, yeah, everyone tells us we look like siblings. Or, it was something along those lines. Oh, little cone guy. Because of Mario Kart World coming up, I remember someone ended up showing a, what was it? They replayed, I think it was Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii, where there were like boss battles and challenge modes. And like with free roam, you're getting a touch of those challenge modes where you find one of those P blocks or P buttons, and then it's like, wow, here's this little quest, collect all these coins or get to this checkpoint before time runs out or something like that. And like the challenge modes were sort of like, ah yes, collect all these coins, and when you collect all the coins, yay, you win. And depending on how fast you went, you got a certain amount of stars, and maybe, I forget, maybe it was like the amount of stars you got were, if you got enough, you unlock stuff. I don't know. But then, like, apparently some of them had boss battles. Like, here, your quest this time is defeat the boss. Get items when driving to throw at the boss and defeat them. Or something like that. If they showed off, it's like, hey, we brought boss battles back, maybe people would be like, oh, wait, you did? That's cool. But no, I doubt they won anyone over with this. Yikes. Oh. Yeah. The only thing that this has made me happy about is that, how do I phrase this? We already knew from the one developer interview about one of the Paper Mario games that, yes, the reason these games have so few new characters is that Nintendo was being really restrictive on new characters. It's like, no, these are the cast of Mario characters that should exist that are named. Otherwise, no, that's just a Babam, that's just a Goomba, that's just a Koopa or whatever. And like that was around the time when they were really strict about a lot of things, and it's like, oh, we're brand image, make sure that's it. But then they loosened up a bit again. I wouldn't be surprised if it was after the interview came out and then there was a whole bunch of outrage and they were like, maybe we should. But then we did start seeing games that got a bit more creative. Like, we had Luigi's Mansion 3 came out, and that had Professor Egad again, which I'm surprised some of the characters they're adding in here, and it's like, they say, no, we're not going to have any mention of Egad. Like, I'm sorry, I realize that people like the Piantas. However, Egad showed up in the Mario and Luigi series, showed up in the Luigi's Mansion series. I honestly have not played much of Sunshine, but I'm like 95% sure the Flood, there was like mentions that, yes, Professor Egad made this, or whatever. It's like, really? You're going to have some of these enemies, and you're not gonna give us Professor Egad as a racer? I would have liked that. I think also people were hoping, since the Piantas were here, the Nokis were going to be back. If I'm remembering the names right. Whatever. What else? But like, also then we have Mario Wonder, where finally we were away from the new Super Mario Bros. Style, and it's like, it can only be new for so long, my guys. But it's like, oh my gosh, what's this? Playable Daisy? Since when? We've only been able to play her in side games. And it's like, whoa, okay, Daisy's here. That's cool. Like, that alone was my selling point for me for Mario Wonder, because Daisy, I love Daisy. The women love Daisy as the Super Mario Man game, fan game, whatever, has said. Which, I love the fact that whole thing is like, oh, what, you want to copyright strike this? You're gonna have to fight for it. Because there's Mario and Pokemon and Sonic. Like, tidbits of Sonic, but enough to hopefully... Whatever. Let's see. Like that, and then we got Mario RPG and Thousand Year Door re-releases. And so, like, the only thing that this trailer and game have really done for me is showing off, hey, here's, yes, we're Daisy. She finally gets her castle. We sort of know where her area is. Like, again, I will say that I'm not the most enthused that's like, yes, she's in the desert. Because Mario Land is like, okay, there were 4 areas and each one was based on a different place. And yes, there was one based on Egypt, but we also had Easter Island and I think it was some parts of China and the Bermuda area. So like the Bahamas or whatever. And I was like, yes, okay, you had the desert from the Egypt area, but the others? Question mark? And like also there was some things that the Sand Kingdom from our Odyssey was potentially originally going to be part of Sarasa Land, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just hoping that somehow, maybe, this will somehow get like a Mario Land revival. Or like maybe a re-release. It'd be dope if they did a re-release of Super Mario Land. Hell, I am now considering like trying to look through those levels and be like, okay, let me make a mock-up of a redo of that or something. I don't know. Who knows, man? Oh, okay. I don't know. But like Super Mario Land 2 is when they introduced Wario, and then eventually we had Wario Land, and there have been some people who are like, why can't we have another Wario Land game? Why do we just keep getting WarioWare? And especially with the success of Pizza Tower? Why am I blanking on the name? I think that's the name, but now I'm not sure. I was like, okay, it was a spiritual successor to Wario Land, and people really liked it. So hey, Nintendo, maybe people would like that. Like, I'm always happy for more Daisy rep, especially because Daisy was one of those characters that definitely was shafted by just everything, because Daisy and Waluigi were not made by the main guy. So that's part of why it's like, okay, they're stuck in the side games. But like the fact that now we have Daisy in a mainline game, that it shows some promise that maybe somehow, I don't know. I do know that, like, one person, it was ages and ages and ages ago. I don't know where in life I was. I'm pretty sure it was high school or earlier. But someone pointed out, it's like, they keep making these sort of side games where the side characters are the main characters. So Luigi's got Luigi's Mansion. That's very different from the Mario games. Peach had her Princess Peach game, Super Princess Peach or something like that. This was before Showtime, by the way. But like now also with Showtime, it's like those are very different styles. Captain Toad, this was like right as Captain Toad was releasing, so hey, Captain Toad, puzzle platformer, but it's Toad. Where it's like, oh, whenever we want to try a new style, we sort of tie one of the other characters. Like Yoshi's Lee World, whatever, Crafted Worlds. I guess we had the Yoshi Island games, which those were a little different. But either way, again, take a side character to focus on for whichever games. So I think my idea at the time was like, okay, you've got Daisy, who the only time she's ever been kidnapped was by an alien from another planet, which love the... I mean, yes, we know that there are other planets. That would have been nice rep if somehow in one of the Galaxy games we had Tatanga show back up, or some reference to Tatanga. Well, she's only been kidnapped by an alien from another planet. And otherwise, she's been perfectly fine. Canonically, she has backhanded slapped Bowser into the stratosphere, like Team Rocket's blasting off again style. I don't think it had the star, like, ding, when he went that far, but you get the point. Like, backhand slap Bowser that far. So she's strong. So yeah, of course, an alien is the only thing. But it's like, not to mention that in that game, when you go through the various worlds, there's other leaders that you have to defeat because they've been possessed to get to her. So the whole reason it's Sarasa Land and not Sarasa Kingdom is because there's at least 4 kingdoms that she's technically in charge of, and Bowser's just focused on the Mushroom Kingdom, not all of Sarasa. Which, okay, I am also concerned, like, maybe just this part is the Mushroom Kingdom, because, yeah, this is Bowser's territory, and you've got, like, maybe this is DK's area, and, like, maybe this whole chunk is Sarasa Land. And maybe I wouldn't be surprised if, like, there's extra territories, like, further that way, where it's like, oh, yes, that's Barabuto Kingdom, or however it was. The Bermuda area, where it's like, oh, that's off to the side, and whatever. I'm sorry. Can you tell that I really like Daisy? But, like, it's Sarasa Land because it's more than one kingdom. And theoretically, because of those other 3 or 4, I'm forgetting some lore off the top of my head, that technically at this point she's in charge of all 4 of those kingdoms. And it's like, wow. Huh. Interesting. Bowser isn't focused on her, even though theoretically she should be stretched thin. And then my vague idea for, like, oh, if you want to try out a different style of game, what if you had an RTS game where it's Daisy defending her kingdoms? And it's like, yes, you need to send your various troops of whatever. Yes, your Shy Guys are over here, and your... oh gosh, I'm blanking on all the names. I don't know. Words, things, yes. But just... that'd be kind of cool. They'd probably never do it, because that's a little too far from sort of main character territory, because I still don't... because, like, they didn't just do a Toad, they did Captain Toad, who is now a more specific version of a Toad. And, like, I don't think there's, like, a side game that's Bowser-oriented, and he'll probably get something like that before Daisy does. But a girl can dream. Yeah, I think that's about where I want to end things. I've been chatting too long, mostly about Daisy. Oh. Oh, how behind you are. Actually, I can also reset my Zoom so I can see the chat better. Yay. Oh. Yeah. But I don't know. They, as it stands, they need to do a lot more to sell a lot of people on this game. Like, already there are people... You know what? I don't normally put dislikes on videos. I'm disliking this video. This was unnecessary. They... Oh, don't tell me. I don't know if it's just because... Okay, live chat replay is not available. Since I turned chat off, I have no clue if the chat for this stream was live the whole time, but when I tried opening chat, it said that chat has been disabled for this. And so again, not sure if it's because, oh, stream... Hi. Sorry, apparently OBS disconnected for a moment there. But I'm back, I hope. Maybe? But yeah, I noticed that it seemed like live chat replay might have just been turned off because they tend to turn off, but when I tried looking at it, it said, oh, live chat is disabled, so I have no clue if they disabled it in the middle because enough people were saying, but I don't know. Actually, I decided to look at the comments and one person says, the one moment where the stream chat wasn't flooded with drop the price was with Cow. Cow unites all. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Someone also said it's like, oh, when asked, apparently it's Bill Trennan, or Trennan, or however, I don't know. Yeah, sorry if I'm dying, I guess. I'm clicking on all the wrong things. But, like, people are commenting, saying, it's like, oh, thought Bill Trennan, whoever that is, said we learned more about the features in this game that make it worth $80 in this direct. This person is completely correct when they say that it felt like just a slightly longer version of the trailer they showed a few days, well, at this point, 2 weeks ago. I also agree with the person who said, not gonna lie, it ended, and I just went, wait, that's it? Because I also went. Here's a 15-minute version of the trailer we showed you a couple weeks ago. No. I agree with everyone who was expecting more. Yikes. This ain't good, guys. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there since I already apparently had a horrible drop. I will say, since it crashed, now I've suddenly had 0 dropped frames. Before I had, like, I think it was up to 7% of drop frames. Yoicks. I don't know. Either way, I am going to log off. And by the way, next time you see this little version of me, probably will look different because I was trying to... I started working on the artwork, being like, hey, it's been a while since I've updated my little character. I should do a revamp to better fit with some of the other characters I've done for, like, little PNG tubers, where they can blink and they have talking animations. It's not just quiet. Okay, now I'm talking, and now it's lit up, and the mouth is up, and when it goes from quiet and dark to talk, then there's a touch of a bounce. No, trying to revamp it so there's animation, like blinking, and actual mouth-moving talking, and heck, I'm also hoping to have at least one expression, because I've noticed it's like, oh, sometimes the character should not seem happy, and yet the art I did makes them look happy. I don't know. Who's to say? Whatever. Yeah, I'm working on artwork for that. I just didn't quite get it done in time because I also wanted to go live when I said I was going to go live and make sure it was actually live and then try to do a bingo, which I failed at. Okay. Yep. Yay, I did a Nintendo Direct. Huzzah. So long, guys.